Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new Druids based video. Today we're going to be reacting to even more Genshin Impact Miscellany trailers. Now we left off on Hu Tao, so now we're going to be reacting to even more. And hey, if you're new to the channel, please do make sure to like and subscribe. We're so close to 800 subscribers, and let's get into it.
Favonius has a very unique
Starting off on Rosaria.
Despite being a priestess, she has never been witnessed offering prayers to the gods.
Okay.
Swift of foot and aloof in speech, she becomes active in the
Weird
darkness
nun.
of Mondstadt's night. She belongs to a clandestine side of Mondstadt,
If you know, you know.
sharp blades under the moonlight to strike down intruding shadows. In exchange for the people's freedom and peace, the non-believer is tasked with purging the filth that no light will touch.
And these little shots, yes sir.
City blessed by the Animo Archon. Sleep soundly.
Pray, not for the gods nor the betterment of others,
But for yourself. Okay.
Rosaria has powerful one-on-one combat
She's literally
capabilities.
a nun.
As a wielder of a cryovision, her elemental burst can provide continuous cryo damage.
You know, from just looking at her, I wouldn't have thought she was cryo. Had a cryo vision.
Assisting the party with damage
I would not have thought that.
field control. When Rosaria is in the party, she increases the movement speed of party members during nighttime.
That's actually
This
seems kind of useful.
Cannot be applied in domains, trounce
During
domains,
nighttime?
or the spiral abyss. Rosaria's normal attack performs up to 5 consecutive strikes,
Hey, yo.
dealing physical damage to enemies. Holding the attack button allows Rosaria to consume a certain amount of stamina to lunge forwards, dealing physical damage to enemies in her path.
Makes sense.
Tapping Rosaria's elemental skill swiftly positions her behind her opponent. She then pierces and slashes the enemy with her pole,
Dodge.
dealing
Yeah.
damage.
Teleport right through that.
Ravaging Confession can
like
be used
this.
to quickly approach an enemy.
That's actually kind of a
identify an
W skill set right there.
position, and launch your assault. It can also be used to
She looks
dodge
like she's
enemy
doing no
attacks,
damage to that, though.
allowing you to turn the tide
Wait,
of
now he's
battle.
sleepy.
It is important to note that Rosaria cannot use this
Wait, is that literally just her, or does that thing just like get tired when you hit it?
to dodge enemy attacks, allowing you to turn the tide of battle.
Okay, so I think she just does
It is
that.
important to note that Rosaria cannot use this ability to move behind larger enemies. After unlocking the talent Regina Probation, whenever Rosaria strikes an enemy from behind with Ravaging Confession, her crit rate will increase for a short period of time.
That's dope.
lights out.
For her elemental burst, Rosaria swings her polearm around her, striking all nearby foes.
Bro's just
An icy
bro's
lance
just
of
sleeping.
coalesced frost then strikes the ground, dealing cryo damage.
Damn. Nah, that's
While
sick.
the ice lance is present, it will intermittently emit a freezing chill, dealing cryo damage to nearby enemies.
So it just eats them up, and then you can attack them as
Strategically
well.
Utilizing the ice lance through elemental reactions allows party members to control
Any
or
pyro,
inflict even
any
greater
pyro
damage
nearby that is
upon
cooked.
enemies. After unlocking the talent Shadow Samaritan, when Rosaria uses Rites of Termination, all party members except for Rosaria receive a temporary increase to their crit rate based on
She
Rosaria's
hates her
own crit rate.
job as a nun. Uh-oh.
Rosaria, throwing herself into battle, turns daytime idleness into the biting blades of winter that plunge into the bones of the guilty. As the battle begins, coordinate attacks with the other characters in your party. And use elemental skills to trigger elemental
I heard
reactions.
somebody
At the
say
same time, quickly
that
shift
like
behind
Genshin's
the
combat
enemy
like
and
really
follow up
is
with normal attacks.
mainly about switching your character.
When
like
Rosaria's energy
choosing
is
which
full,
characters to fight
use
certain
her
battles.
elemental burst to inflict continuous cryo
Or I guess
damage,
which vision.
then leave the field.
Helps.
Use the crit rate increase from
You know
the talent
Pokemon,
Shadow
yeah.
Samaritan to assist the other party members in swiftly defeating foes.
Just beating these dudes up.
Mondstadt's nights are peaceful and tranquil, but in the quiet of the dark, there are those who glimpse a flash of cold steel.
Down
This
strife.
is the dour sister who meets out punishment to protect this place of peace and the sisters who are purity incarnate. Unperturbed with dirtying her hands, she has become a blood-soaked executioner. And having witnessed the cruelty of this world, she can no longer close her eyes and extol the blessings of the gods. Rosaria, the most unique sister in Mondstadt's Church of Favonius, never needed redemption from the gods, for she grasped it with her own hands.
That's sick. Honestly, I kind of like this character. Rosario, we might have to add you to the squad. Have we seen anything for this character yet?
Liyue is both the nation of contracts and the beating heart of trade.
I don't know if I have.
Its laws are rigorous and exhaustive, serving as pillars of order in a fluid population. But those able to memorize and abide by all the laws of the land number few indeed. Accordingly, when civil disputes and criminal proceedings arise, the first point of call for many is Liyue Harbor's famed legal advisor, Yanfei.
I think maybe we have. I'm not sure.
Only by adhering to
I like
the
her
law
theme, though.
can the people solve life's myriad of problems.
Honored as Liyue's top legal expert, Yanfei knows the law like the back of her hand, as well as how to bend it.
Yeah, we've seen
balancing legality and humanity. Her expertise routinely resolves the most intractable of disputes. But if confronted by those who act with flagrant disregard for the law, it is Yanfei's command of fire and flame that will place them in jeopardy.
Damn.
As Liyue's most sought after...
I forget what they're called, but the little troll things, can they get arrested? Or are they just known as like creatures who can't abide by law? They just don't understand the law.
Legal advisor,
don't mind me dancing to the theme?
Yanfei provides legal support across the whole of Liyue, which has allowed her to explore many of its hidden corners.
Hey! Yeah, no, this is W.
Legal codices, she is well versed in the various local specialties traded by the waterfront.
Gotcha.
When Yanfei is in the party, the location of resources unique to Liyue appear on the minimap.
Oh yeah, she's the one who can see stuff on the map.
Making it easier to gather certain items. Yanfei's normal attack casts a fireball and can be comboed.
I think actually maybe there was other characters that can do it too.
Pyro damage.
Yeah, these things, can they go to jail?
Normal attack
or do they just not understand the law?
A single scarlet seal. She can possess a maximum of 3 scarlet seals at a time. Gaining a new scarlet seal resets the duration of existing seals. Each scarlet seal decreases Yanfei's stamina consumption, and they will disappear when she leaves the field. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina and releases a charged attack,
Makes sense.
dealing AoE pyro damage in the area in front of her. Any scarlet seals held by Yanfei
just
are
burn
consumed
them alive.
when a charged attack is released.
Okay.
And the AoE and damage of this attack are increased based on the number of scarlet seals.
She's got like
consumed.
an anvil coming out the air.
After unlocking the talent
Boom.
when Yanfei consumes
it literally leaves
seals with a
the
charged
goddamn
attack, each
burn in the
scarlet
ground.
seal will increase Yanfei's pyro
that would
damage
hurt.
bonus for a set period.
That would hurt.
If she uses a charged attack again during this period, it will end the effect. Yanfei's sharp eyes and keen wits aid her in singling out opportunists and lawbreakers.
What is that?
Whilst the adeptal
What's that little
power
drone
that
she
resides
got?
within her helps when it comes to serving out justice. After unlocking
Anvil.
the talent Blazing
I'm
Eye,
surprised that thing is not
when
dead.
Yanfei's charged attacks deal crit hits, she will deal an additional bout of AoE pyro
I just know that hurts.
Tap
That damn
Yanfei's
anvil,
elemental
bro.
skill to summon blistering flames that deal AoE pyro damage. Hitting an enemy with her elemental skill grants Yanfei the maximum number of scarlet seals, which she can use to
So I'm assuming some like freaking visions counteract each other. Like, of course, Pyro and Cryo, my fault, do like they probably do the most damage to each other. But like fire hitting lightning, would that really hurt as much, or does it just not? It just doesn't matter.
follow-up charged attack, keeping the ball firmly in her court.
Inadmissible evidence!
Keeping the ball in her court, yeah.
Unleashing
Keeping that-
Yanfei's elemental burst
keeping ahead of the
triggers a
game.
spray of intense flames that rush at nearby enemies, dealing AoE pyro
Creates
damage.
overload, which basically is an
Granting her
explosion.
the maximum number of scarlet seals, as well as applying brilliance to her. Brilliance grants Yanfei a scarlet seal at fixed intervals. It also increases the damage done by her charged attacks. Adept use of brilliance allows Yanfei to increase her scarlet seal accumulation rate and string together charged attacks, dealing greater damage to her enemies. Yanfei's flaming seals are a powerful legal instrument, and her terms of use ensure
Legal, they had to
that
include
they
that.
bolster her position in any form of dispute. By first accumulating scarlet seals,
She's got them
then
seals,
following
bro.
with an enhanced charged attack, Yanfei can rule
They're basically
decisively
saying
on
she's a
any case
combo
before her.
demon.
During battle, Yanfei can alternate between normal attacks and her elemental skill to deal pyro damage to enemies.
Yep.
And gain Scarlet Seals.
That thing is just
Scarlet
floating there
Seals in
taking the
possession.
hits. Oh,
Yanfei
it finally
can
fell
release
back.
Powerful charged attacks to put
Bang.
the enemy on the back foot. When Yanfei's energy is full, unleash her elemental burst to further increase her damage output.
Ooh.
At this stage, Yanfei needs only to
Oh, the
release
elemental
regular
burst looks
charged
peak.
attacks to rout her enemies once and for all. Yanfei was born during Liyue's peacetime. Though part illuminated beast, she never signed a contract with the Geo Archon. Unconstrained by Adepti responsibility, she keeps herself busy in the city, experiencing all manner of worldly affairs, comprehending all levels of human emotion. In her hands, the legal codices are a contract, a tool, a framework of reason,
Dun, 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 dun,
but
dun,
never
dun.
a cage. She longs for a free-spirited life well within the confines of the law. But each detail of the cumbersome legal codices is also dear to her heart. Perhaps
Okay.
one day, a balance can be struck between them.
She needs to find that balance. Who do we have next? Eula? Ever
Since the first night of Favonius rid herself
Surging
of her
frost.
chains, the winds
Okay.
of freedom have carried the fight against oppression into every
Damn.
corner of Mondstadt. Yet today,
Who's being
among
oppressed?
the ranks of the knights sworn to champion freedom, there walks a descendant
She
of the
dashing,
former
bruh.
tyrannical aristocracy.
Oh my gosh.
Eula, the
Little Papa
progeny of an
Steppas.
infamous lineage
Ugh.
with vengeance
Oh, yeah, we
always
know-
on
we
her
know
lips,
Eula.
is the captain of the Knights of Favonius Reconnaissance Company. The Spindrift Knight, supremely skilled with her
Spindrift
blade.
Knight. Okay.
Her controversial heritage leaves many wondering why the Knights would accept her.
But she's a
Perhaps
G.
Because the songs of freedom woven into the Mondstadt winds first asked, why not?
Ready for
Mario.
reconnaissance.
Naturally, Eula
There's a long
earned her
pause.
captaincy with her superior capabilities, masterfully combining Favonia's blade work with cryomagic. She forms frost at the tip of her blade, which she wields with the cadence of a dancer.
She
Waltzing
dancing?
gracefully into battle, she then strikes like a crashing wave.
Jeez.
Eula
Oh, she
derives
literally
no
froze them.
additional status in Mondstadt from her once noble lineage, but finds herself the victim of a strict and outmoded education. She dismisses what she was taught as pointless pretension, yet is unable to escape its influence entirely, often
Okay.
subjecting herself to meticulous introspection. When Eula crafts talent level-up materials, she has a chance to double the output, boosting the party's adventure readiness.
Gotcha.
Eula's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes that deal physical damage to enemies.
Got a 5-piece combo. Love to see it.
Holding the attack steadily consumes
Oh.
stamina. While
She dashed
Eula
right behind him
unleashes
and
a
hit.
rapid string
Damn,
of slashes,
damn.
also dealing physical damage.
Feel bad to be that dude.
When her charged attack ends, she unleashes a powerful strike
uh,
that launches smaller
uh.
enemies within her range.
Damn.
Tap Eula's elemental skill Ice Tide Vortex to perform a rapid slash that deals cryo damage. When the slash hits an enemy, Eula gains 1 stack of Grimheart.
Jeez.
The effect has a maximum of 2 stacks.
Okay, I was just about to ask what that
Grimheart
was.
increases Eula's
As my boy
resistance to
answers it.
interruption in her defense,
Doubles up her
creating
damage.
optimal conditions for her to dish out
Hey,
damage.
weave.
Holding Ice Tide Vortex
Combat looks
causes
pretty fun.
Eula to consume all stacks of Grimheart and perform a spinning frontal slash that deals AoE cryo damage.
Yeah. Looks like it does some numbers.
If this attack consumes Grimheart stacks, it will decrease the physical and cryo resistance of surrounding enemies.
Okay.
Each stack of Grimheart consumed will convert to an Ice Whirl brand, dealing cryo
Oh, yeah, that-
damage to nearby
First
enemies.
attack and my dude is taking it, looking down. Can't even
Flood of
lift his
frost.
hammer no more. Flood of frost. Oh, they should have more enemies around.
Eula's elemental
Flood of
burst
frost.
unleashes
Sing.
a mighty slash of her sword, dealing cryo damage to surrounding enemies and forming a lightfall sword that follows her around.
Does her sword literally just, she doesn't even have it on her back. It literally floats behind her. That goes hard.
While the lightfall sword is present,
goes pretty hard.
Eula's resistance to interruption is increased
Damn.
further.
Damn. Damn.
Additionally,
She's just out-tanking
when
him.
enemies
That's
are
for every
damaged
character?
by
Oh.
Eula's normal attack,
I don't even know that.
elemental skill, or elemental burst, the lightfall sword's energy is charged. When its duration ends, the lightfall sword will descend and explode violently, dealing physical damage to surrounding enemies. Increases with the lightfall sword's charge stack. When Eula leaves the field, the Lightfall Sword will instantly explode. After unlocking the talent Roiling Rime, when Eula
that's much
holds
better,
Ice-type
but-
Vortex, if 2 stacks of Grimheart are consumed together, a shattered Lightfall Sword is created and explodes immediately, dealing half the base physical damage
Damn.
of the Lightfall Sword.
What the video's playing usually? So is it still
Years
going
of
right now?
reconnaissance company campaigns have honed Eula's instinct for launching surprise offensives. When
Damn.
she strikes, waves of frost and rays of light
Oh, like
surge
right now?
forth
Okay,
like
but-
ocean spray.
Damn, yo,
After
the
unlocking
cinematic's going
talent
crazy.
Wellspring of Warlust, casting Eula's Elemental Burst immediately grants 1 stack of Grimheart and resets the cooldown of her elemental skill. The Spindrift Knight's battleground is the shadows far beyond Mondstadt's city walls. Eula's strength is in hunting down her enemy with courage and calculation, striking with her frosty Favonius Bladework. In
Favonius.
combat,
They teaching
Eula
me new
often
words right
starts
now.
the offensive with her normal attack, interspersing her strikes with the
Jeez.
tapping effect of her elemental skill to
Jeez.
keep up the pursuit and accrue
Yeah, no, her
Grimheart
combos
stacks.
are kind of crazy.
Next, holding her elemental skill at an opportune moment will deal damage
Damn.
to her enemy.
That was
while
at
also
least 12
reducing their
strikes.
physical and cryo resistance by consuming the Grimheart stacks. When Eula's energy is full, unleashing her elemental burst puts further pressure on the enemy and creates a Lightfall Sword.
Okay. Got that pressure on him?
Now is the time for a rapid offensive.
Yep, once he's feeling the pressure, just
Charge
go
the
in.
Lightfall Sword
Take him down.
and finally take down the enemy when it explodes.
Damn.
There are those with hatred in their hearts that are able to do what Eula has done. Take the
Okay.
lust for vengeance bequeathed to them by fate and channel it into a force for self-advancement. For Eula, this has set her down a path of peace and inner strength.
So she just built
Still,
different.
there are others for whom the passage of time does nothing to quell the poison spreading through their souls.
Gotcha.
Only the future will reveal the path they take, but
She
inevitably
really hit her no
will
enemies
be a
arc.
different one.
Yo, shout out Ula, bro. No enemies? Yes, sir. Next up, we got Kadehara Kazuha Free Spirit.
No
Damn,
one
these
is
are
sure
long.
when they first noticed it, but once in a while, from the deck of the Alcor, flagship of the heavily armed Crux fleet,
Kazuha,
the
my
soft
boy.
sound of a flute can be heard. Following the ocean breeze to wherever it may lead, trace the
Oh, yeah,
sound
this is the
back
dude
to
who
its
was like-
source, and you will
they was
see
on
a
the
young
ship.
samurai of Inazuma,
Yeah.
calmly
The
sitting
samurai,
in
the young
crow's
samurai.
nest,
He had a
playing a
cool
lead
character
flute
demo.
while taking in the
I
sights
like
and
this.
sounds of the natural world. But ask the other sailors about his story, and you'll find they know little more than you.
Damn.
All they can tell you is he is a trainee sailor from Inazuma. His name is Kaidahara
Keeps
Kazuha.
things hidden even through his
Dragon
friends.
rain,
Yeah, his
no
blade
winds that churn.
is sick.
I shall return by blade alone, armed, if barefoot, to my home.
Many look at Kaidahara Kazuha and see but a young face. What they miss is a swift and deadly samurai wanderer who is not to be taken lightly.
Damn.
Kaidahara Kazuha has the ability
Yeah, he's
to
cold.
manipulate animo and provides
cold.
an elemental damage bonus for members of his party. Also, with his elemental skill, he can make frequent use of special plunging attacks that keep enemies grouped together, providing great support to his
He's so
party.
cool. He's a support character? Really?
Like a leaf on the breeze, he is light as a feather
would've never
and
guessed.
swift as a blade.
Seems like he would do
When
just
Kaidahara
hella
Kazuha is
damage.
in your party, he reduces sprinting stamina consumption for your party members,
Oh, that's good.
making exploration faster. Kazuha's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes
Jeez.
that deal physical damage
That
to
was more than
enemies.
5.
Hold the attack button to consume a set amount of stamina. And perform 2 swift slashes to his front, dealing high physical damage. While Kazuha is airborne, pressing the attack
his
button
theme's
causes him
building
to
on me, though.
perform a plunging attack,
Plunging
damaging
attack's kinda
opponents
sick.
along the path and dealing AoE
Damn!
damage upon impact. Tap his elemental
jumped
skill,
straight over that.
Chihayabaru, to unleash a secret blade technique. Pulling enemies and objects toward him,
Damn.
launching enemies
Damn.
within his range,
That
and
thing just
dealing
died.
animo
That thing
damage.
definitely just died.
Kazuha uses the gust of wind generated in this moment to soar up into the air. For a short period after using Chihayabaru, while Kazuha remains
Okay.
airborne, he can unleash a powerful plunging attack, Midare Ranzan.
Midare Ranzan.
The damage dealt by this plunging attack
That just
is
sounds
converted
cool.
to anemo damage. When Kazuha lands, he uses another secret blade technique to create a wind tunnel that pulls in nearby enemies and
No
objects.
shot.
With this effect,
Let me see
Kazuha
that.
can concentrate enemies in one place, allowing
Oh, he
other
just holds
party
them in the
members
middle
to
while he
attack
can
more
attack.
efficiently.
Okay.
Chihayaburu is a skill that can be used while airborne, giving Kazuha great agility when out exploring.
Okay.
When Chihayaburu is held instead of tapped, Kazuha deals increased anemo damage over a wider area.
We're just eating. We're just eating a chili. Oh, it's actually
After
spitting
unlocking
fire.
the talent Somon Swordsmanship, Kazuha's elemental skill can absorb Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro when cast. If a Midare Ranzan plunging attack is performed before Chihayaburu's effects,
Let me hear that one more time. Can absorb.
Cryo, or Electro when cast. If
Okay.
a Midare Ranzan plunging
Absorb.
attack is performed before Chihayaburu's effects expire, it deals additional elemental damage of the absorbed element. Only one elemental absorption can occur per Chihayaburu.
Understood.
Clouds hide.
Elemental
The birds
burst.
call.
Kazuya slash. Let's see it.
Kaidahara
Oh.
Kazuha's elemental burst
That's
is
awesome.
the pinnacle achievement
That is awesome.
of his self-taught blade work. He strikes with the force
taught
of the first
himself? He
winds
don't
of
even got a
autumn,
master?
dealing AoE
He
anemo
just knew it?
damage. This attack produces
What?
a field called Autumn Whirlwind. The field periodically deals anemo damage to enemies within it. If Autumn Whirlwind
Hey.
comes into contact with Hydro,
Hey.
Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, it will absorb that element and deal additional elemental damage. This elemental absorption may only occur once in its duration.
My fault. My fan was hitting me in the
Kazuha
eye,
can
bro.
use the Autumn Whirlwind field
Y'all
to
could probably
easily
see it in my
affect
face. I was
multiple
like, ah.
enemies with an element, creating ideal opportunities for his allies to attack.
Damn. So yeah, he
The
basically
wind blows
it kind of
to
is a
all
support
within its
character.
vast reach,
He just
and
he
knows
helps
to
out his
come
teammates
and fall
hella.
from the first withered leaf. For a set duration after Kazuha triggers a swirl reaction, all party members receive a damage bonus for the corresponding element.
Okay, damage bonus. That's nice.
The bonus scales
How much,
off
though?
of Kazuha's elemental mastery.
Okay, so it depends.
If multiple elemental damage bonuses are gained in this manner, they are applied concurrently. Kaidahara Kazuha has roamed far and wide and is acutely sensitive to changes in the natural environment. When the way ahead is rocky, his mastery of Anemo allows him to swiftly turn the tide of the battle, guiding the
Okay.
whole party to victory. In
It's
combat,
him.
he coordinates closely with his teammates to apply elements to enemies.
Yeah.
Then, he uses his elemental skill to gain control over the opponents, following up here and there with powerful plunging
Yeah, I
attacks
love this,
to
bro.
keep them where he wants them, while also activating
The
poetic
combat actually looks
Suffusion,
kind of like
which provides elemental damage
I don't know.
bonuses, enhancing
Soothing?
the
I don't know-
whole
I don't know how to
party's
explain
attack
it.
capabilities.
you
When
know,
energy
just
is
switching each
full,
character and attacking
Kaidahara
down.
Kazuha unleashes
Nice.
his elemental burst,
Just a click of a
generating
button.
an autumn whirlwind field. The field
Boom.
creates the perfect conditions
Oh my
for
God, they
elemental
are cooked.
reactions,
There's
turning
no
your
way they
party
just
into a
unfreeze after
force
that.
to
You're
be
done.
reckoned with.
Yeah. Nah, he looks
Kaidahara
good. He looks good
Kazuha
having the
is
squad.
no aimless wanderer. He has a deep sense of purpose. The young samurai left his homeland behind not to part with the past, but in the search for a new hope.
New hope.
As he navigates his path, he charts a course through the myriad of storms that come his way.
Damn. Kind of seems a little emo.
His exposure to the elements keeps him in touch with nature and connects him with other people who cross his path.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Hold up. Let him cook.
Those who choose to defy the gods are destined for hardship. But even a maple leaf blowing in the breeze, if it falls into the right company, can learn to sail the storm winds of the sea to shores beyond the horizon.
And Nemo. Okay. Yeah, I like him. I definitely wouldn't mind having him in my squad. Next up, we have Kamisato Ayaki Snow Dance Haran. So I'm assuming we got
In
a
Inazuma
frost
City,
character.
The Shirasagi Himegimi is a name
I'd be thinking of him
known
like
to all.
Avatar, bro. Like waterbender, airbender.
Those fortunate enough to meet Kamisato Ayaka in person describe her as the princess of the Kamisato clan. Graceful and dignified as a snow crane, but kind and gentle like a dove.
Mmm.
She brings joy and hope to everyone she meets.
That's neat.
The other half of perfection is, of course, martial prowess. So when Kamisato Ayaka draws her blade and assumes a fighting stance, her opponent should beware.
Ugh.
Kamisato Ayaka, present.
Vision
A
cryo.
master of the Inazuman Kamisato art of Tachijutsu,
I love how their blades just come
Kamisato
out the air.
Ayaka has honed her blade work to the pinnacle of proficiency. She combines
I mean,
swift
her-
and agile strikes with
her
the
foot-
power
her
of
foot
cryo
currently
to
looks
fight
cool.
back against those of malicious intent. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission's Kamisato clan, Ayaka is versed in a variety of art forms. Her expertise in the art of the sword includes knowledge of advanced weaponry.
Yeah, she was the one who was,
When
and her
Ayaka
character demo was
crafts
just
weapon essential
training.
materials, she
was
has a
just going
certain
crazy in the
chance to
training, right?
receive double the product.
Oh, cool. They just giving you
Ayaka's
double.
normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes that deal physical damage to enemies.
Uh-huh. They always say 5 strikes, but I swear it looks like
Holding
more.
the attack button consumes a set amount of
Maybe it's 'cause
stamina
there's multiple
to perform
enemies,
the
though.
EI technique.
So I'm hearing
unleashing a
multiple
series of
slashes
blade
more than there
winds
is.
that deal physical damage to enemies.
He just took 3 steps
When
back after that.
Ayaka
He's like,
sprints,
hold
she
on,
cloaks
brother.
herself in frozen fog, consuming stamina to move as a rapid torrent.
That's cool.
While in her Senho state,
Oh, she can do it on
Ayaka
water,
travel
too?
swiftly over water.
It freezes
When
it
she
too.
leaves Senho state and reappears,
That's
she
dope.
applies the cryo element to nearby enemies.
Yeah. If
Also,
she jumps out, they freeze
She will
too.
receive a cryo infusion for a
That's
short
neat.
duration. The cryo
It's not
infusion
heat, but,
converts Kamisato Ayaka's
know,
attack
it's
damage to cryo damage.
I love how the torch is still just flaming.
After unlocking the talent Kanten Senmyo Blessing, if the cryo energy released when exiting Kamisato Art Senho comes into contact with an enemy, Ayaka will regain some stamina. Additionally, she will gain a temporary cryo damage bonus.
Okay.
Proficient use of these skills allows Kamisato Ayaka to move freely around the battlefield, putting her in the strongest possible position. A flick of the
Okay.
wrist with the poise
Flick
of
of
a
the
dancer,
wrist,
and
hey.
Frost goes flying. Tapping Ayaka's elemental skill
Damn.
summons blooming ice, launching adjacent enemies and dealing AoE cryo damage.
Yeah.
After unlocking the talent Amatsumi
Yo,
Kunitsu
they are going
Sanctification
crazy with this
for a
theme,
short
though.
duration after casting Kamisato Art Hyoka.
What's good, Jason Lee?
Ayaka's normal and charged attacks deal increased damage.
Getting that damage increased? Yes, sir.
Kamisato art.
Oh.
Sumetsu.
Oh.
Kamisato Ayaka summons the frost
Yo.
with flawless poise,
They be
releasing
hitting
a
these like
frost
Smash
flake
Bros.
Seki no
intros.
To that travels forward. The frost flake Seki no To is a storm of whirling icy winds that slashes repeatedly at enemies, dealing cryo damage and blooming at the end of its duration, dealing a further
Damn.
bout of AoE cryo damage.
Oh my god, it's like a ripple effect, brother. All the damages just come together, all the
Even
attacks.
In the heat of battle, Kamisato Ayaka is the picture of elegance.
Mmm.
Her own blade work
She got that
philosophy
elegance
adds
force.
finesse to Kamisato Art's Tachijutsu. With the choreography of a
Tachijutsu.
crane in the snow, she defeats her foes in a dance of frost. When the battle begins,
Why are they giving her like these
Ayaka
sayings,
enters her
bro? These
Senho
cold
state,
sayings.
then swiftly draws near to her enemies to launch her attack.
She got a music
The
element
versatile
too?
range of cryo abilities
Who
at
is
her
this
disposal
woman?
creates opportunities to coordinate with her teammates.
Dun, dun,
She gains
dun.
control over her enemies, then alternates between normal and charged attacks to take them down one by one.
And that's special.
When energy is full, Kamisato Ayaka unleashes her elemental burst to deal further damage and clean up the field.
I gotta admit this. Yeah. Her enemy was a tank though.
When Inazuma locals discuss the Yashiro
His
Commission,
dash
they are
ability.
full of praise for
Takes some getting
Kamisato
used to?
Ayaka's
Oh, okay.
cordial manner and sincerity of speech at social gatherings. When the name Shirasagi Himegimi is uttered, it is done so in tribute to her flawless etiquette and impeccable
Impeccable
character.
character. Damn. Damn.
But what can anyone know of how Ayaka views herself in her innermost being?
Who knows?
As the princess of the Yashiro Commission's Kamisato clan, Ayaka shoulders her family's duty to cherish the aspirations of ordinary people. But she
Okay.
also has dreams of her own that she holds dear. Perhaps the thing that she really needs is a companion on her journey, with whom to share a pot of tea
Damn.
and to play a game of Go.
They're going into on her story too in this.
and with whom
She just
to
needs
stand
someone in her
shoulder to
life.
shoulder when it comes time to draw her blade. Like shooting stars in reverse, they fly up into the night, then burst into color, illuminating the sky and sea and the faces of those watching below. This short but dazzling spectacle is all the work of one woman, Inazuma's most skilled fireworks expert, Yoimiya.
First live stream for me.
Give this
Welcome, bro.
Shooting fireworks straight into the skies with a boat business a shot.
In
Welcome to the
Yoimiya's
community.
capable hands, her spectacular fireworks are not just the grand finale of a festival.
Uh-huh.
They also make
Oh, did she
highly
pull up?
potent
Did she
weapons
get
for
announced during a
protecting
festival?
her friends and fighting her foes. And no one has a flair for fighting with fireworks quite like her.
Yep, definitely. Definitely did. Oh, wait, maybe somebody told me she
Yoimiya's
didn't.
handiwork is exquisite, and she dabbles in many other crafts besides firework making. Always adding her unique touch to all
I gotta
her
make sure
work.
we're going down the right order, because I'm pretty sure somebody told me
When
she
Yoimiya
didn't get
crafts
announced during one.
decorations, ornaments, and landscape furnishings,
But
a portion of the
it really
materials
seems like she
used
did.
will be refunded.
Got the fireworks and everything. She came out
Her
when this
normal
region
attack
came
can
out.
combo up to 5 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage.
Okay.
Holding the attack button executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased
Damn.
damage. Based on the charge time,
I love how when the
aimed shot
enemies in this
generates
game, the
different
smaller
effects.
enemies you get hit, they just drop.
Charge level
They just
1
drop
fires
immediately.
off a flaming arrow that deals pyro damage.
Eats him up. Eats him up. Damn.
At charge level 2, depending on the exact charging time, the aimed shot generates up to 3 kindling arrows when she releases it.
Uh-huh. Looks like Doctor Strange's little,
Kindling arrows home in
things.
on nearby enemies.
You know what I'm
dealing
talking
pyro
about.
damage. Tap Yoimiya's elemental skill, and she waves a sparkler,
Okay.
causing a ring of
Got a little
saltpeter
dance?
to surround her and sending her into the Niwabi Ensho state. During this
Wabi
time,
Incho State.
arrows fired by Yoimiya's
What does that do?
normal attack will be blazing arrows, increasing their damage and converting
Enemies
the
drop if you
attacks
do a
to
headshot?
pyro damage. However, during Niwabi Ensho, Yoimiya's normal attack, Firework Flare-Up, will not generate kindling arrows at charge level 2.
Why not?
After unlocking the talent Tricks of the Troublemaker, during Yoimiya's elemental skill duration, when
Okay.
her normal attack hits an enemy, she gains a stackable pyro damage bonus, which lasts for 3 seconds.
Damn. Damn. Damn.
Here come the fireworks!
Elemental Burst.
Yoimiya leaps into the air, together with her original creation, Ryukin Saxifrage, firing forth blazing
Ryukin,
rockets
damn.
bursting with surprises that deal AoE pyro damage, and mark one of the hit enemies with Aura's Blaze. All attacks by any party member other than Yoimiya that hit an enemy marked by Aura's
Uh-huh.
Blaze will trigger explosions, dealing AoE pyro damage.
So yeah, that just makes her do way more damage.
Affected by Aura's Blaze is
I'm
defeated
assuming other
before it
people in her crew as
expires.
well.
The effect
since
will
they're switching
pass
while
on
she has
to
that out?
another nearby enemy who will inherit the remaining duration.
So you could like set that off and then switch characters to a
Aura's
stronger
Blaze
character and it'll do
explosions
damage.
are subject to a short cooldown.
Yeah, we got the boy Shao in the cut. Yeah.
After unlocking the talent
Damn.
Summer Night's Dawn, for a short duration after casting Yoimiya's elemental burst, nearby party members other than Yoimiya herself gain an
Attack boost. Just like I thought.
This bonus is based on the number of Tricks of the Troublemaker stacks Yoimiya possesses when she unleashes her elemental burst.
Yep.
Armed with a pyrovision, Yoimiya has more than
I was
one
like, why are they
way of
giving this
playing
dude a
with
cutscene?
fire.
Because he's about to get
This
dropped.
power takes her skills with the bow to another
Yeah.
level,
Yeah. Welcome back, Taku.
turning even her arrows into fireworks that
Jeez.
send sparks flying all over the battlefield.
W cutscene.
In battle, Yoimiya begins by using her elemental skill to enter the Niwabi Ensho state.
Uh-huh.
Then she engages the enemy with enhanced normal attacks, using Tricks of the Troublemaker to stack up a pyro damage bonus.
Seems like I didn't miss a lot. Missed like 2.
When Niwabi Ensho ends, if her energy is full, she
Uh-huh.
unleashes her elemental burst to further pressure the enemy,
Yep.
then leaves the field, supporting the rest of her team with an attack bonus and pyro damage,
Take that enemy out.
watching the enemy disappear in a dazzling display of light and smoke.
Real.
As the explosions in the sky fade away, breathless spectators find their friends and leave. But Yoimiya is already busy preparing for the next display.
Be right back. All right.
It is a time-honored routine, unchanging night after night. And everyone in Inazuma looks forward to the splendid sight of her latest creations.
Okay. She be creating stuff, bro.
After a brief moment, the dazzling flashes fade and the crowds are gone. After hundreds of years, this sight is nothing new to me. But who's to say
Who's
that
the
brief moments
narrator?
of splendor can't become everlasting memories? The god who pursues eternity has yet to realize that not all that endures is constant. Time can keep fireworks in people's
sleeve?
minds long after they've faded. Just as, once in a while,
He just like
it can
says it
send
like he
stars
knows
fixed
everything.
high above,
Like he's just been
falling
around.
down to the ground. Portrayed moving under the veil of night, stealthily conducting
Okay.
their mission in the shadows.
Gotcha.
As such, people tend to let their imaginations regarding
Who is this
ninjas run
again?
wild, filching objects in a flash, vanishing without a trace, and laying poisonous traps.
You know what's so
Such
funny about these
skills are necessary
trailers?
to be worthy of
They
the
give us like
ninja title.
like their whole
But in the
attack
eyes
story,
of
like what are their
ninja
like
no
what their
matter how
attacks are,
profound the art of
and then it just has
ninjutsu
like a
may
little
be,
last minute at
it
the
is
end.
to be used but for a single purpose.
Sends a wave of
slacking
emotion.
off.
You know,
To
give the
this
characters
ninja
some
who
depth.
never passes
Depth.
on an opportunity to be lazy, the stirring of the leaves is not the opportune diversion to strike her enemy.
Okay.
Rather, it's a favorable time to slip away for a nice nap.
Bruh.
Sayu, Shumatsuban
Literally said-
at your disposal.
Literally, bro said, "Oh, leaves her no time to be lazy. Let's slip in a quick nap, real quick." Okay, buddy.
You don't need me
Okay.
right now. I'm gonna grab some sleep.
Sayu
Hey, I
is
respect
the
it.
Shumatsuban's
But you a
resident
napping.
ninja and the last successor of the Yuhu art. She uses the power of Animo to swiftly move across the battlefield, and wields a claymore much heavier than herself to protect her companions. As a master slacker, Sayu's most adept ninjutsu technique is the art of holding her breath.
She got ninjutsu techniques?
When Sayu is in the party,
Yo.
your characters can approach crystal flies, lizards, and other certain animals without startling them. Sayu's normal attack can combo up to 4
Damn.
strikes,
Only 4?
dealing physical damage.
One less
to
than like
enemies.
everybody else, but alright.
Holding the
I'm
attack
assuming that
steadily
because she's
consumes stamina.
small? Smaller?
While Sayu spins
She's
her
swinging
claymore,
that though.
dealing physical
swinging that,
damage
though.
to nearby enemies. Once Sayu stops spinning her blade, she
Sayu's voice
unleashes a more
actress is Lily
powerful
Pichu?
strike
Oh, I
that
didn't know that.
launches smaller enemies within her range.
Weave?
Tap Sayu's elemental skill to perform a special ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, in which Sayu curls up and enters the Fufu windwheel state and rolls forward for a certain distance, smashing into opponents at high speed, dealing animo damage.
Yo, W
When
theme?
the skill ends, Sayu performs a Fufu whirlwind kick,
Fufu
dealing
whirlwind
AoE
kick.
animo damage. Holding her elemental skill casts Yuhu art Fuin
Huh.
Dash.
I know I'm
causing
supposed to be getting
Sayu
this
to roll
information, but the music go
continuously in
crazy.
the Fufu windwheel state, increasing
Fufu wind
Sayu's
wheel?
resistance to
Yo.
interruption while within that state. During this time, Sayu can control the direction of her roll and can
Okay.
cast the skill again to end her
Nah, that seems like a good thing to
early.
dodge with.
Upon ending it,
For sure.
she unleashes a stronger version of the Fufu whirlwind kick,
Uh-huh.
dealing a single instance of AoE animo damage. The longer Sayu remains in her windwheel state, the longer the skill's cooldown will become. After holding her elemental skill and entering the windwheel state, if Sayu comes into contact with hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro,
Uh-huh.
elemental absorption will occur, causing her to absorb that element.
It seems
and
like a
deal
lot of
additional
characters can
elemental
absorb
damage
those
of that
specific
type.
elements.
Elemental absorption may only occur once per use of this skill. With adept use of Fufu windwheel state, Sayu can swiftly roll across the battlefield to trigger swirl reactions in tandem with other party members. In the open world, Sayu can make use of her Fufu windwheel to quickly cover
Oh, every
distances,
Nemo can. Okay,
aiding
so
with
that.
exploration.
Ah, I got you. Good.
Ninjutsu!
Twin Jutsu.
Unleash her elemental burst to deal animo damage to nearby opponents.
Okay, I'm sorry. This theme keeps
as
getting
well
better.
as heal all nearby party members. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. Additionally, Sayu performs another ninjutsu technique of the Yuhu art, summoning Sayu's trusty helper, Muji Muji Daruma.
Muji Muji Daruma.
At specific intervals,
What is
Muji
that?
Muji Daruma will take one of several actions based on the situation around it.
Okay.
If the HP of nearby characters is relatively high, It will attack a nearby opponent, dealing animal
And then if
damage.
it's low, it'll give her HP. Or anyone in your squad.
If there are nearby characters
That's one of the
with
music
HP
themes they
below
were
a
coming to
certain
do. Hey,
percentage,
I see why.
it will heal the character with the lowest HP percentage left. The amount of HP restored is based on Sayu's attack. If there are no opponents nearby, then it will focus on healing characters,
Makes sense.
even if the characters already have relatively high percentages of HP.
Yeah.
After unlocking the talent No Work Today, when Muji Muji Daruma heals a
Because
character,
who would it attack, you
it
know?
will also heal a certain percentage of HP for other nearby characters on the battlefield. And when it attacks opponents, it will have an increased AoE. Perhaps in Sayu's heart, being neither eye-catching nor of extraordinary strength, she feels that her teammates are better suited for tackling the tasks at hand. In the meanwhile, Sayu can ensure they stay fit for combat. When Sayu triggers
Damn.
a swirl reaction on the battlefield, she will regenerate HP for your characters in the party and all nearby allied characters.
Oh no, I'm not trying to get attacked by that.
Additionally, the amount of healing will also benefit from Sayu's elemental mastery. This effect can occur only once per set time period. Though it may seem
Okay.
that Sleepy Sayu is always slacking off, she is still quite loyal to her commitments, or to put it another way, inescapable duties.
Yeah,
She rolls nimbly across the battlefield,
makes sense.
providing reliable support to her teammates. In combat, Sayu relies on her Fufu wind wheel to move swiftly,
Fufu wind wheel.
quickly closing the distance on her enemies and crashing into
Fun
them
fact,
to
Sayu is a
trigger
teenager,
swirl
she's just short.
reactions, while simultaneously providing healing for her team. When energy is
Damn.
full, Sayu can unleash her elemental burst to summon Muji Muji Daruma. Whether it's to heal her
Xiao,
teammates
yes
or to
sir.
increase
I really
damage
want
against
Xiao,
her
bro.
opponents,
I think somebody told me his banner's coming back
Muji Daruma
real
can
soon.
adapt to the situation and protect Sayu's precious companions.
Yo,
Striving for the dreams
Yep,
of your
now we're
youth
gonna get a little
is an
story.
admirable thing indeed.
indeed. Indeed.
Only by improving yourself can you face the vicissitudes of life. And when it comes to improving yourself, whether it's sharpening your combat
He's on the
skills
current
or
banner?
simply trying to grow
Oh.
taller, to the young, anything worth striving
Banner's
for
right now, it ends at
is a
50
truly
days.
valuable
Okay.
endeavor. Now that I think about it, I too was probably once that way. Naive, persistent, and untiring.
Literally every teenager ever.
I'm only joking, of course. I've long forgotten the happenings of hundreds of years ago.
Let's just do it. Raiden
In the eyes of
Shogun.
Inazumans, the Raiden Shogun is
Raiden.
not only an Archon,
Oh.
but also a
That was
symbol.
Raiden, like the
She
Mortal
is their
Kombat character.
superior leader who embodies eternal thunder and radiance. Her Excellency, the almighty Narukami
Just holding
Ogosho,
that, bruh.
a 1,000-year-old protector of Inazuma.
Damn.
Little do they know that the current ruler of Inazuma, the Raiden Shogun, residing high up in Tenshukaku, is no
Tenshukaku.
longer the same Archon who emerged victorious.
Some of these words I
from
just
the
don't even know what they
Archon
mean.
War.
The campaign begins.
Okay. That's literally my Discord's
The Raiden
cover.
Shogun is a martial artist in pursuit of perfection, with a sole goal of achieving eternity. No matter who stands in her way to eternal euthymia, they
Raiden
have
is
no
her
chance
family name,
against
by the way.
divine
Shogun is her
punishment
family name.
that shines down with her
Oh.
bidding. It was the Raiden Shogun who originated the
Raiden
Inazuman art of
Shogun.
sword and polearm, as well as a variety of blade
So
forging
she's the first of the
techniques.
first.
When ascending swords and polearms, the amount of mora spent by the Raiden Shogun will be decreased.
That's cool. Just get to spend less
The
money.
Raiden Shogun's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina.
She really has
to
her own
perform an
training
upward
facility.
slash, dealing physical damage. Despite claiming to be detached from the mortal world, perhaps the Raiden Shogun still remembers her role as an Archon. She accrues the aspirations
Okay.
of all living creatures for her Chakra
Chakra?
Desiderata.
Ooh. Is that her
When
sword's
party
name?
members other than her use their elemental bursts, the Raiden Shogun will build up resolve stacks for
Uh-huh.
Chakra Desiderata based on the energy cost of the bursts used. Then, use up all the resolve accrued to empower her next elemental burst.
Gotcha.
The resolve accrued by Chakra Desiderata will dissipate once the Shogun is out of combat for a set time. The exalted Archon devoted to eternity. What caused her to stop in her tracks and listen to the wishes of her people?
Yeah, what did?
After unlocking the talent Wishes Unnumbered, the
Okay.
elemental orbs and particles collected by nearby party members
Gotcha.
will grant additional resolve for Chakra Desiderata once per set time period.
Oh, that's cool.
Upon tapping her
That's
elemental
actually pretty cool.
skill, the Raiden Shogun unveils a shard of her Euthymia, dealing electro damage to nearby opponents, and granting nearby
Yeah, she just
party
has to be the
members
coolest
Eye
character.
of Stormy Judgment.
The Eye of Stormy Judgment.
When
Literally
characters
just
carrying it attack and
attacks
deal
you.
damage to opponents. The Eye of Stormy Judgment will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE electro damage.
Yep.
The characters who gained the Eye of Stormy Judgment will have their elemental burst damage increased, based
Hey,
on the energy
8,000
cost of
damage?
the elemental
Okay.
bursts unleashed.
What they cooking?
Thanks to the Eye of Stormy Judgment, the Raiden Shogun can aid her teammates without being on the battlefield,
Yep.
boosting their offensive capabilities.
Couple characters have things like that.
Now you shall perish.
Yes. Let's see that action.
Gathering truths unnumbered
Sing.
and the resolve of wishes uncounted.
That is such a cool move.
The Raiden Shogun unleashes the Musou no Hitotachi,
Damn. Yeah, she
dealing
has
AoE
the
electro
coolest
damage,
moveset ever.
using Musou
Thank-
Ishin in
thank-
combat
thank-
for a
thank-
certain
thank-
duration afterward.
That's awesome.
The damage dealt by Musou no Hitotachi and Musou Ishin's attacks is based on the number of Chakra Desiderata's resolve stacks consumed
Regardless,
when
that's a
this
lot of
skill is
damage.
used. While using Musou Ishin in combat, the Shogun's normal, charged, and
Weave.
plunging attacks will be regarded as elemental burst damage.
Are the enemies
and will be
actually this
infused with
slow?
electro damage,
Or is it
which
just because like it's a,
cannot be overridden.
a
When
trailer?
such attacks hit opponents, she will regenerate energy for all nearby party members. While in this state, the Raiden Shogun's resistance to interruption is increased, and she is immune to electrocharge damage.
She walking on water now? That's
After
Jesus?
unlocking the talent Enlightened One, if the Shogun's energy recharge surpasses a certain value, the surplus energy recharge grants her a percentage-based electro damage.
I just got so much respect for this combo right here.
And more energy restoration while in Musou Ishin. The Raiden Shogun can accelerate the elemental burst
Raiden,
rotation of her party
Shogun.
while making the elemental bursts of her teammates more powerful. Such a seasoned leader like her remains fearless in the face of any encounter. In combat, the Raiden Shogun can use the Eye of Stormy Judgment to help teammates in difficult fights.
Okay. I thought they already
When
went
her
over that.
teammates unleash
Am I
elemental
tripping?
bursts or collect elemental orbs or particles, the Shogun gains more resolve for Chakra Desiderata.
Yeah.
Wait for an opportune moment to unleash Musou no Hitotachi to deal
Musou no
lethal damage
Hitotachi.
to your enemies.
Yo, I need to buy that sword in
And
real
enter
life.
Musou Ishin to clean up the battlefield while regenerating energy for the whole party.
Damn.
To enable a round of elemental bursts that will strike foes down as fast as lightning.
Fast as lightning. That is
Neighboring
cold.
the Dark Sea, Inazuma has witnessed many a war. For the pursuit of eternity and
Yep.
the prosperity of Inazuma, the Raiden
Archon
Shogun
War.
stuck stubbornly to her path.
Okay.
But what let some bloom made others wither.
Wither. Ugh.
There is no gain without the pain of loss. When facing their fears, Archons and mortals are all the same. Yet Archons are born arrogant. By attempting to grasp the heavenly principles, she brought a disaster upon mortals. Perhaps some may say that I'm overstating what happened, but I'm just speaking from experience after all.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was one of the best. That was one of the best Miscellany trailers.